everyone, and welcome to Topic Time with Harrison Young. Welcome to Topic Time with Harrison Young. I have an amazing interview today. I have two people in different parts of the country. One, I'm not even sure where he is. He likes it that way. A young man named Dylan down on the bottom of the screen, and then upper left on my to the left of me is Anna. She's in St. Louis, Missouri. She can see the arch from where she's sitting if she turns around, but hopefully she'll face me during the entire interview, so she won't, so she can look at the arch later. Anna, do me a favor. Can you pull your chair back a little bit? The top of your head is kind of cut off. There you go. All right. Not really sure what they do, but they look very official, and I know that they were referred to me by Mr. Kyle Hamburger and his great staff of WATP podcasters. But before we get to them, they're out of Rochester, New York, by the way. Got to read these incredible underwriters, and then we will commence per usual. So we have Salon Giovanni in Marshfield. We have Rodney's Kitchen in Halifax. We have Plymouth County Power Sports in Middleborough. They're in Newark. We have good old Dave's Automotive on Route 58, right up the road over there in Hanson. We have Pembroke Radiator in Pembroke. We have Bulldog Sports Cards in Middleborough. We have Crazy Axe's Rec Center in Hanover. We have Genuine's Inspection in Middleborough. We have the Hanover House of Pizza in Hanover. They make great Sicilian pizza, Greek salads, and have wonderful people, and they deliver. We have New England Floorscapes in Middleborough. We have Kingston Auto Body in Kingston. We have the Cornerstone Barbershop in Pembroke. We have the Gunrunner LLC, the Second Amendment Freedom Store in Middleborough, and we have the Auto Shop in Hanover. Thanks, Ed Rooney. Thank you guys very much. And now we have on the upper left-hand corner, the lovely lady is Anna, and like I said, the young man in the middle, below, and is Dylan. So Anna, ladies first. Tell me about yourself a little bit. Can you give me your full name, and then we'll get Dylan's full name too.
My name is Ann Knight. I live right near St. Louis.
Not Ann. There's no way, and there's only one A in there.
Yeah, it's Ann or Annie if it's easier. I mean, it's easy. It's hard to get it, or it's easy to get it mixed up with the E at the end. So I don't blame you.
Oh, it's Ann with an E on the end.
Yep, Ann with an E, just like that TV show on Netflix.
Okay. All right. Well, tell me a little about yourself. You have a very beautiful background there. You have a lot of nice artwork. What do you do? Are you a podcaster?
Sort of. I do have my own show. It's kind of in the beginning stages right now. It's a little rough. I'm having a little bit of issues communicating with my co-host, which I know you have some issues with, at least today. I run a show that mostly talks about video games, which is where a lot of the art comes from behind me. I'm a big gamer, so that's what I do in most of my free time.
Sweet. Okay. When you say you're a big gamer, does that mean you play video games? Do you invent them or create them? Or both?
I play a lot of video games. I don't have enough technical know-how to make video games, but if I ever were to go into that field of creating video games, I feel like I would be pretty good at the writing aspect and creating the ideas, the more world-building aspects.
Okay. Do you have a bunch of people like that you work with that are a little more skilled on the technical end of creating them, so that you might, if on God willing, and I expect it could happen any day, you have an idea for a new video game, they'd be able to put it together, in the blink of an eye for you, and make it a bestseller?
Unfortunately, no. I don't really have any kind of connections like that. Most of the people I know are mostly podcasters and broadcasters. I don't know anybody that really works with computers in my personal life. Okay,
yeah. And all right, that's fine. And all right, Dylan, tell me about yourself. Now, you said you're the man from nowhere. That's cool.
Dylan from somewhere is the moniker I've given myself for now.
My bad. You said somewhere. I said nowhere. And I'm thinking
it's similar.
Yeah, I know.
2 towns over from somewhere is nowhere. Yeah, that's. I'm in my wanderer phase right now. So
in the middle is anywhere, right?
Yeah, it could be anywhere. I feel like going somewhere else. I grew up in between DC and Baltimore. Spent 8 years out in Los Angeles, where I did a lot of acting, mainly background acting. So you can see me wandering around in your favorite shows. And yeah, I started live streaming, doing a show in June, and been a lot of fun getting back to performing.
Okay, you look familiar. What shows might I have seen you in? I seen you in?
I didn't really have any parts you would know of. Like in theater, I got speaking roles. I went on a bunch of auditions, but as far as what you would see on TV and film, you'll see me shopping in Superstore. You'll see me in Call of the Wild as one of the miners in 1890s Alaska. I'm around, but yeah, like step up from set dressing, the live action set being us background actors.
Okay. And now just that room there that you're sitting in, that's a studio, right? I mean, I see you got a mic hanging there, but I'm just curious. It looks like I said, I thought it looked like a sub shop at first. But
This is actually my bedroom that I'm broadcasting out of.
oh,
Working
lucky
with
you.
what I've got. So yeah, for now, I just set up my bedroom. One of the biggest things that I don't like you have a brick wall behind you. Having a nice background, like Annie has a lot of her gaming stuff with. So I collected 8x10s.
Okay.
When I lived in Burbank, there was a place that sold them for $1 a piece, and they're stills from movies that would be sent to newspapers for publicity. So that's been my makeshift wallpaper for years.
Okay, that's sweet. Kind of like what you might see in a restaurant with the famous people have eaten at, and they have their pictures on the wall, kind of like that.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Marty Feldman has not been here. Too late
Not
to
yet.
get him here.
Well, okay, well, when the show airs, he'll definitely be compelled to go there. Okay, all right, Ian. So what I do with every guest is I try to like profile them as what they were like as kids too, because I always say everything is connected in life in terms of what you've done in the past is connected to the present, will be connected to the future. So, Ann, tell me about yourself. Where did you grow up? What did you aspire to? We'll cover it a little more, and then we'll talk to you again, Dylan, about that for you in your case. So go ahead.
I grew up north in Illinois, right outside of Chicago. So
Okay,
I've been pretty much outside of big cities my whole life.
Okay. Why is that? Just why outside of big? I mean, are your parents in big business or something, or was that it? It sounds like did you travel around the Midwest, around the country as a kid for reasons that your parents needed to take you, or because they were busy with affairs that of monetary value and stuff like that? Or you tell me.
That's absolutely correct. Right after I was born, my parents shortly moved from where I was born in Illinois all the way out to Arizona. And we lived there for a couple of years because that's where my dad's father, so my grandfather, that's where my grandfather lived. And
Okay.
my dad spent a couple of years reconnecting with his father out in Arizona before he got a job in Denver, Colorado. So we moved from Arizona to Denver. So we went from blistering heat to next winter, we're going to get 3 feet of snow. So a huge jump as a young child, really.
True. Bipolar in its rawest form, baby, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, great. Okay. Well, but that was a while ago. Now, so what did you aspire to as a child yourself, though? Did you do any acting yourself? Did you do any did you do any singing, dancing, any kind of music, entertainment, modeling, anything like that?
No, to be honest, I've spent most of my life and still today kind of not knowing what I want to do. I
Okay.
kind of spend most of my time just finding what I like and just kind of focusing on it. I really like games, as I've
Yeah.
said, so that's what I spend a lot of my time on. I enjoy spending time with my family, and that's what I spend most of my time doing. I have a job, obviously, so I can afford to live by myself and play my games and stuff like that. But
Okay.
honestly, my whole deal in life is just kind of enjoying myself.
I understand. Do you want to tell me what the job is? Is it pertaining at all to video games themselves?
I wish that would be really cool. I think maybe in the future I could try to get a job like that. But right now, I just work for the pharmacy company Walgreens. I work in
Oh.
management, so I'm a retail worker.
But that's pretty to connect the job for the public. Obviously, everybody needs medicine at some point. Preferably not if you don't need it, don't use it. But you know what I mean. Well, that's wonderful. Is that a national chain?
Yeah, Walgreens is in all 50 states,
Walgreens?
and
I got one right in Brockton, Mass, where I live.
yep,
Okay.
they are all over the place. Some towns even have 2 of them because they're such a big company.
I know.
It's one of the biggest pharmacy corner stores that is in the United States. It's
Yeah.
like a home household name.
Well, as a matter of fact, the building that is now Walgreens in Brockton, Mass, where I live on the west side, used to be the pharmacy owned by the people whose house I now live in. So,
Oh, wow.
small world. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, small world.
Yep, and they're dead, of course, but that was a while ago. That's bound to happen to all of us. I'm not trying to be depressing. I'm trying to make it humorous. All right.
Yeah.
So, tell me, did you go to college at all? Yeah,
I I did go to college for a little bit. Like I said, I spent a lot of my youth and still now not really knowing what I wanted to do. So
Okay.
my parents kind of pushed me to get out and either go get a job or go to school. So I
Yep.
didn't want to go work because I was a lazy kid and I wanted my free time. So I decided to go to school.
Okay.
Uh,
And what,
I, I went
what?
to school with three choices.
Okay.
I wanted to be an electrician, a plumber, or a mechanic because they're jobs that you're gonna need for the next 100 years. The entire time I'm alive, we're gonna need those
Yep.
three jobs.
True.
And I figured I'll give one of them a shot, and if the other one doesn't work, I'll go to another one. So I started by trying to be an auto mechanic.
Okay. Well, did you go to school? So all this is from school? Did you learn the skills from about auto mechanics from school, or did you pick it up on your own, friends, or how did that go?
Well, it didn't go that well in general. I went to school at the beginning to just do like basic classes, English, math, to get the
Yep.
basics out of the way. And I took a couple of auto body repair classes, so taking out dents and stuff like that, patching up holes, replacing tires, really simple work. Although I didn't find that very engaging, I didn't want to be a body working person. I wanted to focus more on engines. So I transferred schools to a better, bigger school, and they actually had a program where you could learn to be an actual engine mechanic. So I went into that, and I thought it was really cool. It was really entertaining. The problem is, at least the class that I joined in the area that I live in is very exclusive. They kind of group together, and if you're not in their group, they don't kind of want you to come in and join their group. And this weird girl that's never played with a car before coming into class and wanting to play with all the big boys, it just didn't work well. They didn't want to teach me anything. They didn't want to spend time being like, so this is how an engine works. It makes little explosions.
Yep.
So I eventually dropped out of that class because it wasn't working well for me, and I didn't feel like I belonged.
Okay, I understand. And then you decided to become. Well, okay, that's great. Now, what school was this? Is it a college?
It was Lewis and Clark in Godfrey, Illinois.
Okay, I've heard of them. All right, now, Dylan, tell me about your education, if you would, please. Like, beyond high school.
Beyond high school, I have got a 2-year degree. I went to a community college not far from where I grew up in small town Maryland, and that's really where I found my love for performing. I'd always been a big fan of writing, so my last couple of semesters there, when I had all the necessary credits, just had so many acting and creative writing credits, and that was just really a fun time of only being paid for it. Going forth in Hollywood was the only thing better than going to this specific appointment where I have to pay to do some writing and performing.
I understand that. Now, did you go to college for any of this stuff, for communications or acting or anything like that? And if so, where?
My BA was in general studies, and the only acting classes I ever took was from my local theater teacher at that community college, Bill Gillette. And the best advice that he gave me was go further. In your performance, just go further. It's the director's job to pull you back in, and it's easier if you're way over the top than if you're way under the energy that I'm looking for. And if you've ever seen a bad background actor on television, like being too big, sometimes that was me. I had to be told to knock it off, because acting for theater, you want people up in the nosebleed seats to see and understand what's going on. You got to be more over the top than when you have a camera right in your face. You can and should be a lot more subtle with your actions.
Well, when you're doing live theater?
Yeah, with live theater, over the top, doing something for film or television, more subtle. And yeah, you could. I've seen compilations of bad background actors and going way too far, and I'm like, oh, someone should have told you. I've actually seen it before, where if you notice someone being way too noticeable in the background, sometimes they're just gone the next scene, and you see someone in similar colors and a similar hairdo that's not them, to fool the eye of the people of like, this person was messing up our scene. Please don't notice that it's not them anymore.
Well, you know what that is, because people that are new to that and are enthusiastic and excited about getting into acting, they're gonna want to stand out even if they're extras. And I know how that is because I've had extra roles in some films myself. And believe it or not, I got fired by Spielberg in my first film, Amistad, back in 1997. It's always a funny story I love telling. It was something that was his fault, but he's the one who got the film done and not me. So, you know, I'll always swear by that. I never thought much of him as an interacting person on set because he really wasn't. Stark contrast to Martin Scorsese 11 years later when I was in Shutter Island and where I worked with him directly, and he was very, very cordial and easy to deal with. But, you know, everybody has his own style. All right.
Nice. Yeah, I got to be a background actor on the new Twin Peaks, and David Lynch, being able to look over his shoulder as he directed I didn't learn anything, but it was amazing.
Yeah. David Lynch, it's interesting. I have a friend named David Lynch, who one that writes my show. He has a towing business in Brockton, Mass. Just not the one that we're doing, but that's amazing. I mean, I'm trying to think if I've heard of him. He's a director, is he?
Oh yeah, he's one of the most known weird directors. He's doesn't do normal things. Like if you're just want to see a popcorn movie and have some fun, his movies are more thinkers. They're not so much fun for just turning your brain off.
Okay, so I understand. That's interesting. All right, Ian, tell me about how many board games. I mean, are you aside from, I know you don't invent them or create them, are you very skilled in winning at these games that you love so much?
I don't play a lot of competitive games. The games I like are more adventure and building games. Have you ever heard of Minecraft?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
So I like more games like Minecraft, where you kind of just walk around and you just take things real slow and build things up and kind of create adventures with your friends. And that's more of the game that I like to play. It's more of an experience than go in and kill a bunch of bad guys.
Oh, okay, that's true. It's probably more therapeutically peaceful as well, killing a bunch of bad guys. I know. Sometimes it's true. Video games can be quite violent. So, how long have you been a fan of this game? And now you play this by yourself. You know, when you play video games, you pretty much play alone, or do you have people you play against, or both?
Typically I try to play with people. Most of the games I play with are cooperative. So
Okay.
I'll be able to have people come in and join and play right alongside me and help me complete actions and tasks. A great example is a game I've been playing. It's this game where you are a Viking and your
Okay.
goal is to go around and kill 5 big monsters.
Oh, okay.
How you kill the monsters is kind of up to you. You can decide to build a base and have the monster fight your base, or you can go and collect resources and build better weapons. It's all about how you want to approach it. And that's why I find it so interesting and entertaining, is because I can kind of just do whatever I want.
Okay. Well, I have to weigh in on that one. I know this sounds kind of bizarre. I'm a vegan, and I think the idea of killing animals in any capacity in any game is in poor taste. But that's me. I'm not saying that it doesn't do well. I'm just saying that I'd rather just shoot moving targets in the air. But that's me. You know, that's just my feeling about it. I know that's crazy, maybe. But
No. When did you decide to become a vegan? That's
I've been
for a lot of people.
I've been a vegetarian for 41 years, and I've been a vegan
wow.
for the last 12. So
Wow.
yeah. So I always feel that any game that, whether it's I remember one time in 1990, one of my friends' children was turning 4 years old, and we went to a little arcade in the town of Abington, Mass, which is just a few towns from here. And one of the amusement, the games that they had was bopping the gators on the head. And I said, boy, this is in poor taste, She didn't play it. The girl didn't play it, but yeah. All right. Now tell me about that artwork behind you. Those paintings are amazing. And plus you have whatever light setting you have there is really enhancing the glows of them. So just give me an idea of how those are all for your board games.
Yeah. So some of these are from different games that I like. Those two over there are from Minecraft that I mentioned before.
Yeah.
Then you have this game, Legend of Zelda, where you play as a hero trying to save a princess.
Okay.
Then this one down here, you play as a warrior trying to escape an island.
Monsters. Okay. Yeah.
Yep. And then you have Grand Theft Auto, which is just run around and shoot other people. You probably heard of Grand Theft Auto. It's really famous.
I've seen it. One of the pizza places that I go to. I haven't gone in years, but they had it. And I'll be honest with you. I have to admit, if there's going to be killing in the video game, I'd rather not be animals that are killed. That's just killed off.
I totally agree with you on that.
Yeah.
I try whenever I play games like that. I'd rather fight people than fight creatures
exactly.
and stuff. It just seems like you said,
it seems like it seems
wrong.
It seems wrong. It seems immoral. It seems fiendish, kind of. You know, I mean, if I'm gonna do a video game, I want it to be one that I can make that's gonna make me laugh. You know, there's something comical, maybe. I mean, it's like, you know, maybe a Three Stooges game where they're all slapping each other. That's kind of funny. I mean,
there's some fun games like that, like party games. A really famous one is Mario Party, where you can just get together and you play like a board game where you roll a dice and you get to move forward a couple spaces.
Yeah,
and then you get to play games at the end of it. You have a game where you race around a track, or one where you eat food really fast, or one where you jump higher than people. It's a really simple, fun party game. You're
not killing anybody.
Nope. No killing in that.
All right. Now tell me, how do you guys interact in this world of the podcast, if you would? Is there an interact besides today? Do you interact regularly at this level?
Through text for the past couple of weeks on Discord, we've been communicating.
Okay,
it's a big group on the Discord that we're part of.
When you say Discord, now when I think of Discord, I think of stuff that's discordant and non-harmonious. This is a different meaning, correct?
Correct. It's just the name of the brand. It's like Twitter or Facebook. It's just a word. It's just an app.
Social media app. I get it. Yep. Okay.
All Discord is just another chat app. It's where you can go and have all your friends in one chat room, and you can just send messages or pictures together.
Sweet. All right. Now, Dylan, tell me about. I know you've done a lot of acting before. What's on the horizon for you going forward? I should say. Do you have anything coming up soon, or planning on any auditions or whatever? You tell me.
Going forward, I'm doing my live streaming 5 days a week now. I currently don't have a job. I worked at a very miserable restaurant for about a year because not too many roles here and somewhere to audition for. So I always default to cooking. I enjoy being a sous chef. I love research and development. Like at home, I love making a jalapeno and apple lasagna. Okay. And there's a bacon jam. Whenever I see a bacon jam at a nice pretentious restaurant, it's like, ooh, that's going to be good. Bacon jam at a nice pretentious restaurant is always good. But I got to get a part-time job coming up. Just something regular, like maybe kitchen work. As I've said, sous chef and R&D. I've got a restaurant nearby. I'm going to go into Photoshop and mess with their menu and be like, all right, I know you're not looking for a sous chef. You're not advertising it. But what do you think of this? You're kind of very similar to the other place in town that's doing this better. What if you take a left turn and did something different with your menu? And that's also like creatively satisfying to me. Certain restaurant work, not the one I wasn't in before, but yeah, just some type of creative endeavor. I might be getting a producing job for a podcast. So I would love to get into that more of producing for other shows. When I was a kid, I said I wanted to be a director, and that changed. I wasn't really into performing. I was always into writing. So so that's changed a little bit. The duties of a producer, I actually enjoy much more of getting everything together rather than being like the head coach on set the way a director is. I like assembling the team rather than telling the team what to do on the day.
Okay, so basically, you think you can lead. You're a leader type. You want to lead along. You want to lead along into a fashionable production thing, right?
Collaborate. Be part of the collaboration process. Being like the leader. I like near the top. I enjoy, and once again, why I enjoy sous chef. I very often enjoy being the right hand man. That's the concept of my show right now is co-host auditions, where I am the second mic, looking for the show to be the permanent second mic in. I think I'm a good assistant director, a good producer rather than a director, a good sous chef rather than a chef, a good second mic rather than a mic. And, nothing against my abilities. I just think I can help someone enhance what they're already doing.
Okay, now, you just gave me an idea for you. I always try to give advice to my guests that could behoove them down the line. Now, you like the writing, you like to cook. Why don't you try doing like a cookbook or something, selling it? Have you ever written anything at all? Like, you ever written a script, written a You ever written a script for anything, or a play, or?
I have a small pile of scripts. In
Okay.
college, I got used to writing prose, as they say.
Yeah.
Not a novel, but just short stories. And once I got to Los Angeles, that's the world of the script. I wanted to sell a script. I wanted to climb the ladder in Los Angeles. And, once I found where I was topping out and where I'd be for a while, let's try something different, go somewhere. I do have a small pile of scripts. I lean towards dark comedy. One is a game show. I would love to film the game show. It's not a difficult concept. My sketch comedy show, I was actually going to film. I was in pre-production in spring of 2020, and then 2020 happened.
Yeah.
And hopefully I can circle back around to making that sketch comedy pilot one day.
Sweet. Okay. All right. Now going forward, Ian, what do you have anything coming up on the horizon? Like later that, we're in the fall now, or almost. You have any big plans aside from your job? Anything released? Anything you want to release or talk about that you might have overlooked that might be worth mentioning before we wrap the show up? We're now within the final 5 minutes, and I hope you both enjoy talking to me. But I just want to make sure that we covered as much as we can about both of you. So go ahead, Ian.
I plan on working and finishing the pre-production for my podcast, which is where I just weekly talk about the games that I've been playing and have on guests. A Daylaw might be coming on my show eventually. We have a couple of people who are interested in coming on that I would love to just sit down and talk with them, just a casual, hey, did you like this game? What did you like about it? Would you like to play more of it? Just really simple kind of interview about the game. My show is kind of a mess right now because I'm not really speaking with my co-host. I don't know what's going on with it. So my plan is to reinvent the show with just me and then some rotating co-hosts.
Okay, I think you both do great at what you're both very ambitious young people, I'm guessing, and I'm sure both are younger than I am. So I'm thinking that the future looks bright for both of you. Just got to keep plugging it, just like I do with my show and everything else I've done for now nearly 64 years of life, coming up pretty soon in a few weeks. So, all right. Well, did you guys have fun talking to me? I hope we covered as much about you as we could.
Yes,
absolutely. It's been a blast. Thank you very much, Mr. Harrison Young.
Thank you, Ms. Ian. Now, I don't have your last names. What I'm going to ask is that when we put the graphics up after we finish the show, that we make that if you want them in there, we'll make sure we get them. But I want you to let me know. It's up to you.
My name is Ann Knight.
Oh, Ann Knight, like Shining Armor.
Yes, Ann with an E and then Knight with an E.
Gotcha. Oh, there's an E in Knight? Where's there an E in Knight?
At the end, just like Anne. ANNE, and then Knight with an E at the end of it. It's confusing.
Wait a minute. It's not spelled like KNIGHT. There's an E at the end of that, or is there?
KNIGHTE.
E. Oh, okay. Yep. I got you. Okay.
Ann with an E, Knight with an E.
And Dylan, what about you?
Just going by Dylan from somewhere for now. That's my name on YouTube. And I do have some fun little ideas of how to slowly reveal more about myself. I think it's fun discovering more and more about someone that you tune into, because I do have a small fan base on co-host auditions, and just telling them everything about me up front, I don't think is as fun as finding it out little by little. DILLON from somewhere is the moniker I'm going by for now. Okay, now both of you can friend me on Facebook, Harrison Blake Young, and what I'll do is once we're done with this, I'm going to ask that you both stick around and do pictures for Facebook, and then I'll tag you, and then I'll connect with you on Facebook, and then I can tag you in the pictures. Now, if you had fun with me and you know anybody else that it's an event that has anything interesting going on, you got my digits, both. Well, I don't know if you have them, but Dale does. But
we can get in touch with Dale.
Getting in touch with Dale. I'm going to have him on eventually when he figures out what his issue is with his audio or whatever else. And but I'm saying to you guys, if you have any friends or whatever that are interesting in entertainment, or even just they don't have to be in entertainment, but they have an interesting story to tell. I think everybody pretty much does. Send them my way. We'll get them on the show either by Zoom or in person, and that would be awesome.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Now you guys okay to stick around and do a pick or two for Facebook? Like I said, my tech guy will take it. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We're going to wrap the show up. I wish my mom a happy birthday. I'm going to see at 87. I'll see her in about 40 minutes. I don't think she'll watch the show, but if she does, at least she'll know I didn't forget her. So we're wrapping it up. See you next time. Take care. Have an awesome week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night. Right, right.